60 Minutes Rewind.
In the world of skiing, there are two kinds of skiers. Those who like to stay on groomed runs and be guided gently around obstacles, and those who like to ski the whole mountain and ski towards the obstacles. That is called freeriding. Man-made jumps, rails, and halfpipes are rejected in favor of the drops, jagged cliffs, and deep chutes created by Mother Nature. The sport of freeriding took off in the 1990s and is now one of the fastest-growing disciplines in skiing. Given the risks inherent with the terrain, it attracts some of the bravest and most adventurous skiers in the world. But even among that group, 15-year-old Jacob Smith stands out. We thought you should see what he does, because he cannot. This is Big Sky, Montana, home to some of the steepest and most challenging ski slopes in the country. And that is Jacob Smith, who is blind. 3 years ago, he was just 12 years old as he made his way to the top of the 11,000-foot-high Lone Peak to ski down it. Watch this.
Dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Jacob drops into the Big Couloir, a narrow, rock-walled 1,400-foot chute. That dot is him, making his way turn by turn. A wrong move can be catastrophic. The run has a 50-degree slope, which means if you slip down the couloir, there's little chance you can stop yourself.
When you're standing at the top, you feel like if you move, you're gonna die.
And that's the moment most people would say, you know what, maybe not a good idea.
Yeah, but I'm kind of just like, well, I'm already up here, so I gotta make it down somehow.
He did, and became the only legally blind athlete to ski the legendary run.
You did it!
That was awesome.
History just has been made.
Forever.
How'd you feel when you made it to the bottom?
Excited that I did it. I didn't crash. I thought it was awesome. But I guess we made it 4 more times, so I just wanted to do it again.
You were testing your luck that day.
Yeah.
We got Jacob Smith on course.
Jacob is still testing his luck and good sense. We met him in January at a junior regional freeride tournament in Big Sky. That's him, now 15 years old, competing against 40 other teenage daredevils, all of whom can see perfectly well.
Coming right off the top of that. Finding pretty good landing.
This time, the background for all the competitors' spectacular experiment with gravity was another triple diamond chute, appropriately named DTM.
DTM stands for?
Don't tell mama.
It is an insane run, like a 45-degree slope.
Yeah.
Do the judges give you any slack for being blind?
No, 0.
Do you think they should?
No, I don't. I want to be treated normal so I compete with other sighted skiers.
It's not an insignificant difference. We worked with his doctors and our graphic artists to show roughly what Jacob can see on a run. He has extreme tunnel vision and no depth perception on top of that. It's blurry. His visual acuity is rated 2800, 4 times the level of legal blindness. Think of the big E on the eye chart. He would need it to be blown up 4 times in order to see it from 20 feet away.
Fantastic ski technique. You wouldn't be able to tell he's visually impaired.
So how does Jacob ski like this? His family keeps him on course.
Go up with your right feet really far.
On competition days, his little brother Preston patiently helps him hike to the top of the venue. It's so high, the lifts won't take you there.
First down, perfect, keep going.
Then his father Nathan helps him get down.
Nice turns.
Jacob has a 2-way radio turned up high in his pocket. His dad is on the other end at the base, somehow, calmly guiding him down.
Okay, right.
It's on me to make sure I don't let him down, that I get him in trouble. You know, that I have to guide him through narrower chutes or not go off a cliff.
You have to be his eyes.
Yeah.
And there can't be a delay. He can't say, are you sure, Dad?
Nope.
Have you ever missed it? Have you ever said, oh gosh, I forgot to tell him about that, or I didn't see that?
Oh yeah, all the time. But his adaptation is pretty amazing.
How much do you trust him?
Well, I mean, enough to turn right when he tells me to.
Jacob's just putting his all into my dad's voice. It's crazy. Skiing, just listening to someone turn there.
Could you ski like that?
It's like closing your eyes, basically. It would be so hard.
Jacob's siblings are all competitive skiers. That's Andrew, who's 17, doing a 360. Preston is 14, and Julia is 12.
Do the other competitors know that he's blind?
Some do, but they always like announce it over the intercom that like blind skier Jacob coming down the hill.
He is the only ever, I have to say, blind skier.
That's when everyone turns and looks. Oh, it's a miracle. Look at him.
Would you know if you didn't know?
He's such a good skier for legally blind. Everybody's
They just get mad at him if he's in the way.
If we tell anybody that he's legally blind, then nobody believes us. They just give us a bad look.
Jacob was born with vision. Soon after he learned to walk, he was on skis. Family vacations were spent bombing down the trails in Big Sky with his family. But it was back home at their ranch in North Dakota that an unexpected obstacle changed Jacob's life. He started getting headaches and began bumping into things. He was 8 years old.
I like ran into a wall or something that my mom saw, and then it was like 2 days after I went to the eye doctor, and he took one look at my eyes, looked at my mom, and then just asked like which hospital you want, because my optic nerve was swelling and bleeding.
Did you have any sense that things were going wrong up until that point?
No.
That day, Jacob was flown here to the Masonic Children's Hospital in Minneapolis, where he underwent an emergency 12-hour surgery after an MRI revealed a cancerous brain tumor the size of a softball that was crushing his optic nerve.
It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. It looked like half his brain was a tumor.
So at that point, you're not thinking, I'm worried he's going to lose his vision. You're thinking, I'm worried
losing
he's
my
not gonna-
child.
You're going to lose your child.
I'm going to bury a kid.
In that first surgery, doctors removed enough of the tumor to relieve the pressure on Jacob's optic nerve to stop his vision from continuing to deteriorate. Here he is, leaving a message for his siblings a few days later.
I miss you all a lot. I really, really do. It's getting, my vision's getting better. I'm coming home and I'm really excited.
But Jacob would need 3 more major brain surgeries over the next 3 years, all before he was 12 years old.
My head feels okay?
Each time with an extensive rehabilitation.
Did you ever get down about it?
Like I did, but at the same time, I just prayed a lot.
When you were praying about it, were you praying this will be over? Were you praying I want to get my vision back? Or were you praying I'll stay alive?
That I'll stay alive and that'll get through it. And that's what happened.
Finally, in 2017, a course of radiation eradicated the cancer and Jacob got a clean scan. But his doctor said the radiation increased his lifetime risk of another brain tumor by up to 30%.
Right now, the tumor that we originally targeted is gone. You know, so far so good.
It doesn't sound like you've exhaled.
I don't think you ever exhale.
Because
There's always the what if. You know, when you get put into that situation that you never felt you ever should have been or expected, I don't think you're ever going to exhale and go, we're done.
whose idea was it to return to skiing?
Well, my dad's.
Turn and go straight through it.
So we came out here and we kind of just tried it out. Everywhere I went skiing for probably the first year or two was with either my dad or a coach.
You've taught your kid to ski, but you've never taught a blind child to ski.
No.
So you did not know what you were doing.
No.
So tell me about those early days.
Well, at first everyone said get a rope and a sign and he's going to be a blind skier and you're going to guide him. I'm like, nope, that's not an option. We're not going to do it that way.
Because why?
Because I'm not going to let that define him.
The story will continue after this.
Father and son admit they're trying to carve their own path, sort of figuring it out as they go. Jacob says he's learned to listen for danger, other skiers, the churning of a lift, or icy conditions underfoot. Andy says he remembers many of the runs from when he could see.
Can you feel your way down a run you didn't go on before you lost your vision?
I mean, yeah, I can, and I've done it.
And how does it work out?
It's pretty scary, and sometimes takes me a little minute.
That's got to be terrifying.
You get used to it.
How many crashes were there in those early days?
I don't even think I can count that high.
When Jacob was 10, he shattered his femur in 60 places when he skied into a tree.
Are you not nervous that there's going to be a catastrophic accident, that he could die doing this?
It's not the way I vision life. I don't look for the reasons not to do things. I'm not going to put him in something that I'm not going through first, that the consequences of falling are not going to be life-threatening.
What are you fearful of?
The only big fear I have is not succeeding.
You're more afraid of not succeeding than you are of getting hurt.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I've already lost my vision, so a couple broken bones and a couple more mishaps, I guess, isn't a big deal to me at all.
Clearly, he's fearless. As a parent, are you not fearful?
He's not reckless. He knows his limitations. I think he has the ability to ski anything on the mountain, but he's not going to go try to do it by himself. He wants to be with somebody he wants to trust. He won't ski with people he doesn't trust.
Nathan said Jacob is cautious about skiing and competing on low visibility days, when he can see even less than usual. Still, he finds a way of keeping up with his siblings. They are an enviable pack on the mountain.
Do you see him being super plugged into everything else, right? To the sounds. He was saying he hears the lift, the snow.
Yeah.
What do you see?
His hearing is very he chooses what he wants to hear. So
What do you mean?
there's times at home where he'll be you could say his name 1,000 times and he'll pretend he didn't hear one word. But then skiing, it's you could flick and he'll just turn,
On competition day, Jacob suits up and sends it.
Dad, drop in 3, 2, 1.
Finishing 19th out of 41 competitors. For Jacob, success isn't about the trophy, it's about freedom, showing others how to negotiate obstacles, even when you can't see them coming.
Coming to the finish line. There you go.
Honestly, no matter what gets thrown in front of you, what kind of comes out of nowhere and strikes you, takes you off guard a little bit, there is always a way to conquer it, to adapt, to make it happen, and still do what you want to do.